Good evening, everyone. We warmly welcome you all to the national webinar on financial literacy and management skills development for higher educational institutions, especially for academicians, scholars, and students. Today, Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences, and Well-being, in collaboration with Association of Mutual Funds in India, is organizing a national webinar on financial literacy and management skills focused on higher educational institutions and its stakeholders, especially for academicians, administrative staff, teaching staff, scholars, and students. Today, we are also celebrating Teachers' Day on occasion of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who is an eminent philosopher, teacher, and also the second president of India. This day is dedicated to acknowledging and honoring the invaluable role of teachers in shaping minds, building character, and nurturing future citizens. So, teacher is a person who creates different professionals. A teacher is a profession which creates different professions. So, in this context, even for the financial literacy and financial aspects, this day provides a significant role. As a stakeholders, teachers play a crucial role, and at higher educational institutions, especially colleges, universities, and institutes of premier importance like IITs, IIMs, and all these premier institutions play an effective role. So in line, so this is a day where it is dedicated to those teachers, lecturers, professors, and academicians, researchers, research scholars, acknowledging and honoring the invaluable role of teachers in shaping minds, building character, and nurturing future citizens and potential employers and entrepreneurs. So, in line with this tradition, as we are observing Teachers' Day celebrations, we will be observing with a focus on empowering educators, scholars, and students through knowledge sharing and capacity building alongside. On this occasion, we are grateful to the AMFI for collaborating on this occasion to be part in the dissemination of knowledge, organizing in this webinar as part of Teachers' Day celebrations to address critical skills required in today's academic professional ecosystems. So why this is important, the 21st century knowledge economy demands not only academic skills, excellence, but also essential life skills such as financial literacy and management competency, which is also listed in United Nations life skills and NEP life skills. And with higher educational institutions focus on disciplinary learning, students and scholars often lack this adequate exposure to personal finance management, investment literacy, entrepreneurship, and digital finance practices. Similarly, academicians and administrators require effective management and leadership skills to adapt to evolving challenges in academia. So, financial literacy has also been emphasized in NEP 2020, that is New Educational Policy, which promotes holistic, multidisciplinary, and skill-oriented education. So, embedding these competencies, thus contributing to Sustainable Development Goals, UN SDGs. So now this platform today, we all have come together to honor teachers and celebrate their contribution. So we wish all the teachers a happy Teachers' Day for their enormous contributions. And we express our gratitude to all the teachers. And through the collaboration with AMFI, we have our resource person for the day today, Sri Veera Brahma Rao, who is Senior Consultant AMFI, former General Manager, State Bank of India, who will enlighten us, all of us, and give exposure to the management and leadership skills relevant to HEI's, higher educational institutions, and also highlight investments, budgeting, entrepreneurship, and startup ecosystems as emerging areas of interest, and discuss integration of financial literacy and skill development in HEI's, focusing on NEP 2020. So this platform will create a cross-learning and networking among educators, financial experts, and students. So this will focus certain topics like budgeting, savings, investment strategies, financial planning, especially for students, academicians, scholars, and any pension, insurance, and financial securities, in short, and also entrepreneurship and role of higher educational institutions in fostering financial literacy, entrepreneurial culture, and opportunities, and a little bit of cyber security and so on. So after this webinar, we'll be able to gain insights into these concepts. And now I invite our resource person, keynote speaker for the day, with all the honors, Sri Veera Brahma Rao Garu, Senior Consultant, AMFI, former General Manager, State Bank of India, with a brief introduction about Sir. Just a second. So, Sir, Mr. Veera Brahma Rao is a postgraduate in Commerce, MBA Finance, postgraduate in Securities Law, and postgraduate in Alternate Dispute Resolution. He has over 33 years of experience as General Manager from State Bank of India after serving 33 years in various activities in the bank. Thereafter, he also worked as CEO, Trust Exchange Company, Doha, Qatar, for 4 years on deputation from SBI. And he had exposure in diverse fields of banking during his stint with SBI for over 3.5 decades. As finance professional, chaired the meetings of Zonal Office Credit Committee for high value credit and stressed asset resolution, and deputed by the bank as CEO of the Trust Exchange Company, Doha, Qatar. Initiated, implemented Government of India's direct benefit transfer scheme in the state of Orissa during 2010 and 11, steered the growth of agri-rural business for SBI, worked in SBI Central Board Secretariat, apex policy-making body of this bank, and conducted Central Board as well as other board meetings as stipulated intervals. And he also worked as nominee director in Utkal Gramya Bank, Orissa, and Orissa State Warehousing Corporation. So in 2025, he has joined Association of Mutual Funds in India, AMFI, an apex body of mutual fund in India, as a senior consultant for spreading investor awareness in southern part of the country. And we welcome you, sir, with all the honors, to take over for your session. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ravindra Garu. Wonderful introduction, and also your opening remarks set the tone for our investor awareness program and management skills. And I should personally thank you, and also the Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts and Sciences and Wellbeing, Hyderabad, for acceding to our request to have this program. And I really appreciate the eagerness and the enthusiasm that is shown for to be participating in this financial literacy and investor awareness program being organized by AMFI as part of a national education financial literacy program. And also SEBI is the main regulator for this, and also mandated this, financial literacy programs for the benefit of the citizens of the country, and also particularly the upcoming students and the faculty who can, much more, take it forward in a better way once a program is being organized. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Ravindra Garu. And before we start this investor awareness program, let us what is financial literacy? Everybody is deals with finance day in and day out in our day-to-day lives, but generally we don't take much of an attention to how exactly we should proceed and organize our savings and investments in a much better way, so that it yields, it paves way for our upliftment of our standard of living and also upliftment of our day-to-day, lives. This PPT, which I am going to show, being organized by the AMFI, Association of Mutual Funds in India, is mostly focusing on, even though it gives a broader perspective of financial literacy and investor awareness program, but mostly focuses on mutual fund schemes and how it is much a balanced way of investment in compared to relative to other investment opportunities that are available to each one of us. So having financial literacy is the first step. Knowing, like a KYC type, knowing where exactly we can invest and what are the opportunities that are available to us is the financial literacy. Knowing that, and the pathway is planning. Having known the various opportunities that are available to us, if we clearly plan our investment avenues in a much broader perspective, it will give lead to a financial planning is a pathway for the better future. This is with this opening remarks. Let us focus on our PPT. Okay, let's take it forward, sir. Yeah, next one. See, generally when we earn money and a livelihood or salary or business income or whatever income, what we will do? These are the three ways, generally we undertake. One is the savings, spending. Spending is most important because most of it, maybe 50 to 60% of it goes towards day-to-day expenditure of to lead a better quality life. Then the remaining portion, whatever is available to us, we may save or we may invest. These are the three things generally what we do with the income or with the salary income that is being received by any individual. Next. Yeah, if when we are talking about savings and investments, let us throw some light on what Warren Buffett, who is the investment guru, international investment guru, who is supposed to be the most well-read and well heard person, voice in the international arena of investment and savings. What he says is, do not save what is left after spending. That is not the criteria of your saving. You should spend, first fix a target of your saving and then save it, and the remaining amount only you try to adjust your spending and your budgeting or whatever you call it. It has to be, your financial budgeting should be in such a way so that you should spend only after saving, not saving after, after whatever is left over after spending. This is the most, well-reputed quotation in the arena of investment and saving by Mr. Warren Buffett. Next. So generally, if you look at this, slide, without our knowledge, there is a component called in the economy, in every economy, not only in Indian economy, but in every economy, you have a concept called inflation. Inflation, how it will eat away your savings over time. This is very, very important to acknowledge. This awareness has to come from for all the investors and savers, because you may think that I have say every month I am saving 1,000 rupees, but unfortunately, the inflation component in the in any economy for that matter will take away a portion of it to meet the inflationary conditions, that is rising prices, cost of living, rentals, everything. Over a period, it will everything will go up. You may think that I am saving 1,000 rupees per month or something like that, but ultimately the value will not be the same as of 1,000 rupees today, over maybe after 5 years or maybe after 10 years. This factor has to be taken into consideration while you are attempting to save an investment. Next. Yeah, this is a pictorial diagram which shows the impact of inflation on your savings and expenditure also. Say, suppose to lead a decent life, a couple may require today 30,000 rupees. They can meet their day-to-day requirements and enjoy their life by going for all the whatever they require. The 30,000 rupees may be required 2 days if you look at the cost of living today. Maybe this 30, you cannot live with the same 30,000 rupees after 5 years, because the component called inflation will definitely up the prices and all the goods, whatever you are using, your necessities, your day-to-day expenditure, everything will go up without your knowledge, because that factor has to be taken into consideration. If you look at the slide, 30,000 today to meet a decent life, after 5 years to lead the same standard of living without any enhancements, you may require 40,000 rupees. Maybe after 15 years, with the same, to lead the same standard of living, you may have to require double the amount of what you have started, 30,000 to 60,000. Similarly, it goes up like that. The inflation component will, have a very heavy toll on your expenses. Similarly, if you look at the savings part of it, you may be thinking that today I'm saving, say, 1 lakh rupees, but the value of that 1 lakh rupees after 5 years will go down to 80,000 rupees. Maybe after 10 years, it may be 60,000. After 15 years, it may be 50,000. So slowly, the net present value, being a arts student and commerce student, you must be aware of this concept, net present value. What is the present value? Maybe you are having before 5 years before you have saved 1 lakh, but what is the value of that 1 lakh today? Maybe 80,000 rupees. This is how it goes. The inflation will impact both sides of your balance sheet, personal balance sheet, that is expenses as well as your savings and investments. Yeah, next. What is the solution? When you are aware, being aware is one most important step that you have crossed. There is a component called inflation, which will impact your day-to-day expenditure as well as in your savings. So being aware of it, then what is the solution for, how to protect yourself, how to shield from these inflationary conditions? So start saving today, progress from saving to investment, so that your savings also, don't keep it idle in your savings bank account or something like that. It should also yield a portion of a return on your savings. Then put money bank in the bank to work rather than accumulating or keeping it idle. You should see that your savings or whatever you are saving, don't keep it idle. You should see that it will work for you. That saving should work for you. At least you should compensate. If not fully the inflationary conditions, it has to compensate the partially, at least, so that your money will work for you. You work hard to earn money, so the money it should ensure, because for earning that salary or whatever it is, the monthly income or business income, you put your sweat and blood. So you just cannot keep it idle. It has to earn again, give back to you that money, whatever you have saved. So better to take benefit of compounding effect. Compounding effect, we are all aware, simple interest and compounding interest. So that compounding effect, you should always try to gain from your investments and savings. Next. So this is the financial planning. How the financial planning, what are the various steps that are involved in financial planning? For all these things, whatever we have discussed, inflationary conditions, saving and investment, first, after being aware of all those steps, then start planning, financial planning. What are the steps that are involved? You have this much income, define your financial goals. First, you should think, okay, in the next 5 years, I'm going to have my scooter or a car or a house or a refrigerator or something like that. You define your goals. What do you want to acquire? Then assess your current financial situation. So what is the income, income I'm getting today to have 5 years hence, I want to have this asset with me, how much I should save for that. So define your assess your current financial situation, then create an asset allocation and evaluate risk. So you have to have this asset allocation, don't put all eggs in one basket. That is the most important concept we have all learned in our life, journey. We all, talk about that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That means in case something happens to the basket, all eggs will get spoiled. So don't put it that way. Your savings and investments also should follow the similar principle, so that you will keep all this. Don't put, all in one class of asset. You have to keep it in various modes of various classes of assets, like, maybe gold, maybe shares, maybe real estate. All these things are various classes of assets. We'll come to that next in the other slides. Then don't keep it idle. And after investment, monitor it, review it, how they are, giving you returns, so that you will take corrective steps in case if it is not meeting your the first step is financial goals. It has to, the monitoring and review is also very, very important. Next. Yeah, why it is important also, we already discussed this, financial goals faster, in a smooth way to achieve those financial goals, because we have set up some financial, to have a house, to have a car or whatever it is. So to achieve those financial goals, you have to have a disciplined financial planning, and also you have to this enhancement of your standard of living. If you want to, if you are leading a particular standard of living today, if you want to from there you graduate from this standard of living to next step, you have to plan. Your financial goals should be very, very properly planned. Then in anybody's life for that matter, you will find, like emergencies will hit, like, health emergency, like our major functions, marriage or children, birth of a child. And to meet all those rituals, like, Barasala or whatever you call it, birthdays of those kids, you have to have funds to meet all those, requirements. Besides your health concerns, as you grow, the ailments also will grow. We are all aware what is the cost of medication nowadays in major corporate hospitals to get a good quality medication. So you have to plan for all those things. These are all, your savings and investment should be taking care of all these financial emergencies. Then when you are earning money in any economy, your government is there to tax your money. So if you, breach a particular threshold limit, your entire income earned will be taxed. You have to also, being a good citizen, you have to plan for your taxes and peace of mind. Finally, what? When you do all these things, you will achieve the peace of mind, so that there will not be any hurdles in achieving your financial goals. Next. Again, we are banking upon Warren Buffett's, famous quote: "Never depend on a single income. Make your investment create a second source of income." Very, very important. Not only your regular income of salary or business income, whatever you are getting regularly, that is there. But whatever you have saved or invested, that should also will supplement your regular income from your main source, that is salary. It should be a second source of income. You should plan in such a way your investment should yield good second source of income for you. Next. So this is also again important to your investment and savings. When you expect them to give you a second source of income, you have to invest them in a right asset class. So this is how, if you look at this, right asset class means not only one asset class. There are several asset classes. This example of shares and bonds is a one asset class that is given to you. How it is, performed. If you invested part of your savings in this class of asset, like stock market and other things, in 5 years, slightly share market is volatile, you will get, but the return will be relatively better than a passive investment like bank deposit or putting it in savings bank and forgetting about it. Or that is, you will get nothing out of it. But whereas here, you will get average return is around 10% plus. So if you look at it in a peak period, 16 plus percentage, you are getting return. But the rider is when you invest in stock market, your investment is subjected to volatility. Unless you are very, very thorough and well-read investor, your investment sometimes you may lose your investment also. That risk factor is always there. When the return is higher, the risk factor is also will be higher. Risk and return will go hand in hand. We have to take note of this basic concept. Next. Yeah, the same thing is being given in a graphical description. How over a period of years, how the Sensex, the investments that are made in stock exchange has given yields. Yeah, it's not a flat growth alone, but it is also, there are downturns. If you look at 2009, there is a substantial downturn. Similarly, maybe in 2015, 18, you have 9, 14, and 19. Maybe around 19 to 1920, again there is a big dip here. So you have to be cautious. The idea of showing this graphic representation is, when you choose an asset class of shares and bonds, you have to be very, very cautious, and you have to know the basics of how to invest in stock markets. Yes, next. Yeah, this is goal-based investments. This is how, if you look at, if it is a small tree in a pot, if you have various financial goals like house, car, what you call education expenditure, retirement benefits, and children's. All these things you have to factor in. Always invest in assets which use your specific financial goal in mind. This has to be you have to observe and follow very critically. Next. So when we have discussed all this, savings and investments and asset classes and some other asset classes, these are the asset classes which are available to you as a saver or investor. One is gold, You can invest in gold. Gold is one asset class which generally, keeps on increasing only the rate. But the risk downside is to protect it, to say, keep it in, this is a passive investment, gold. Even though the, cost of that is increasing by day, there is no return out of it. Nothing, you will not get anything. It's like an ideal investment. Like stocks, you will get some return out of it, but very volatile. Bonds is also similar. A fixed rate of return you will get, but slightly depends on the performance of the company. If it is government bonds, yes, it's okay. But if it is a corporate bond, you will have to, take the risk factor that is available. Suddenly, if the company is not doing well, you may not get even your principal amount also. That is what, risk you are running there. Property, real estate, everybody is aware that nowadays real estate is going up and up, provided the title and other documents are very clear. And while purchasing, if you look at it cautiously, that's a good investment. But again, there is no return. It is only a enhancement or increase in the value of the asset. Insurance is also a contract which happens on happening of a certain event. It's like an indemnity. Like, if something happened to the insured person, then only the other persons, the other living persons, his heirs will get out of certain amount out of it. Other than that, the coverage is there. Coverage of risk is there, life risk. But other than that, the returns on those policies is very, very minimal. Bank deposit is also similar. Savings bank, current account, you don't get anything out of it. Savings bank hardly 3.5%, and fixed deposit also 6-7% return you will get. See, out of all these asset classes, there is one asset class that is called mutual funds. This mutual funds, it not only grow, but also gives you returns. That is one of the best qualities of this mutual fund. Next. Yeah, we already said that, it should be, we should plan in such a way that it should be a second source of income. Like your investment and saving should help you to get a second source of income. So this is how it goes like this. Your investment should fight the inflationary conditions in the economy. So if the inflationary condition is 4% or 5%, your investment should yield much, much better than that return, that 4% or 5%, so that it will not only cover the inflationary conditions in the economy, but also it will give you ample return to treat it as a second source of income. Then, whenever the investment should be in such a way, if you are investing in a gold or what happens, the liquidation of all those things will be much, much real estate and other things, slightly cumbersome and time consuming. And when the other party is aware that you are in a hurry or you want to meet some financial emergency, they will, slash the market price also. So you may not get what exactly is the market value of that particular asset. So be accessible and usable in parts and portions, grow in value and realizable at a fair value. That is very, very important. Realizable at a fair value is important. All these characteristics are there in one asset class that is called mutual funds. Next, that will come to you later. So your asset allocation should be like a thali. South Indian thali, you must be seeing. You have all sorts of, various dishes that are being offered in a thali. That is the picture shows. So similarly, you have to put your savings and investments in various asset classes so that it will represent like a thali. And if you may not like, when a thali is given to you, you may not like all the items that is given to you. At least most of the items, you will take them because you like them, and also it will suit your taste. Similarly, your investments also, Maybe all the investment may not yield, good returns, but at least some of them, it will have a balancing effect. Thali, it's just like a thali. Your asset allocation should be like that. Next. Asset allocation, yeah, the same thing we have given. Some of the assets are there only in growing value. There will not be any return. Some of the, right side of the, this thing, it will not grow any value. The value of an investment will be fixed, but they will give you much better returns than the bank deposits and other things. This is the investment that can generate income only. Here, grow in value only, investment that can grow in value. But if you look at the mutual funds, in between, there's a asset class called mutual funds. It will not only grow in value, but also gives you in a regular source of income if you opt up for it. Next. So, having agreed on the point that mutual funds have both the characteristics of grow in value as well as return, let us go slightly more deep into what is a mutual fund. Yes. Next. So mutual fund is it's a as the name suggests that it is mutually beneficial to all the investors as well as the promoter. It's a mutual fund is a financial vehicle that collects money from many investors and invests in securities such as stocks, bonds, and debit. Because mutual funds directly, once they collect money from in the form of mutual fund units from the investors, what they will do? They will invest in shares and bonds. As a retail investor, if you directly go to the shares and bond market, what happens? You are subjected to, because the knowledge levels, we have our own, regular occupation. We may not be in a position to contribute so much time to study what is happening in stock market, in stocks and for various companies. We may not devote so much time because the timing is also like if you are in an occupation or a profession, what happens? The 10 to 5 you will be busy. So stock market also, maybe dealings will be undertaken between 9 to say 2 or that much only. So you will not be in a position to cater your, unless you are a professional stock market investor. Being an employee or a business person, you will not be in a position to devote so much time for stock markets. So, but mutual funds, what happens? Because they are going to invest after collecting money from investors like all of us, they will invest in stock markets and bonds and the other government securities because they have a fund manager, they have experts, they appoint experts, and based on their advice, their experience, they study the market. Their job is only to study the market and invest accordingly. So they will take a very conscious financial decisions, which will help you to grow your investments in value as well as generate regular source of income. Next. Yeah, how does a mutual fund works? It's here the investors will be there. As you see in the diagram, they pool their money, say 100 investors, 1,000 investors, or 10,000 investors. They will pull up their money, and there will be a fund manager in the mutual fund. This collected money will be entrusted to him, and this fellow will invest in stocks and securities by studying professionally, analyzing each and every investment that is being made, and then gives returns to the investors who are there. Not only the returns to the investors, because they are taking care of the professional investment procedures, your investment also will grow over a period of time in value. Next. Why investment in mutual funds? Unlike, this is a very, very important concept one should understand because, in a real estate or a gold or whatever you call it, you have to shell a substantial amount of money. You have to put in substantial amount of money to get growth in value and other things. Whereas here, mutual funds, what happens? You can invest minimum with a minimum of 1,000 rupees, even in smaller amounts also, regularly. There is no higher investment because it's very handy for investors like middle class and lower middle class investors. So there's a low cost because with minimum 1,000 rupees you can investment. You can start a mutual fund. You enter into a mutual fund. You will have a professional management because there is a fund manager who is an expert, supposed to be an expert in investment in shares and bonds, and a lot of transparency is available for you, and liquidity is all. This is most important thing. Unlike in a real estate asset where the liquidity is almost stuck, you have to plan with 6 months in advance to sell it off at a good price. Whereas here, because the mutual fund will give you on a daily basis the net asset value, and within a day or two, you can liquidate your investment in mutual funds. This is another important feature of this mutual fund industry is this is a well-regulated by SEBI. SEBI, you must have all heard about it, Securities Exchange Board of India. It's like a Reserve Bank for India for banks, who is the regulator for mutual fund industry. SEBI is the regulator. And convenient in small amounts you can invest, and risk diversification, because they don't invest all your savings in in one asset class. Like they will try to invest this your share surplus money, savings and investment, which you put in mutual funds in various shares and bonds. So even if one company is not doing well, other companies in the bonds they have invested will be doing good, so that it will give you a good handsome returns. Next. Yeah. Let us try to understand what is the structure and the scheme categories that are available to an investor. Next. Yeah. When a mutual fund, when you're interested, in trying to invest in a mutual fund, first let us try to understand how the mutual fund industry and each of the mutual fund companies are organized. Because it's a mutually beneficial scheme, it's operated through a trust deed. There will be a sponsor, there will be a board of trustees which will run this, funds asset management company. This asset management company will float the various schemes which are suitable for the investors, and they collect money by way of various schemes from the investors, and there will be the trustees. When the asset management company invests in shares and bonds, these shares and bonds will not be kept with the asset management company, because the third party will be appointed. Because I am investing it, but I may do anything with this thing to obviate that risk of manipulation or risk of misappropriations. There will be a third party called a custodian. All the investments that are being made by this asset management company will be given to a custodian who will keep the custody of all those shares and bonds. And then how these funds will be collected through mutual funds? There will be distributors, there will be agents, there will be bankers, like that. And to manage these funds, there will be fund accountants. All these things, there's a structure that is given and approved by the regulator, SEBI. So you have a very transparent way of investing your funds. Next. Types of mutual funds, again, it depends on the organizational structure. The types of mutual funds are divided into various categories like organizational structure, management portfolio, investment objective, investment portfolio, other types of funds. There are several categories are there. It's not like that mutual fund means only one fund is available to you. You can choose. There are 5 categories of types of mutual funds. depending on the organizational structure, open-ended funds, closed-ended funds, interval funds, management portfolio, active funds, passive funds, similarly growth funds, income funds, all these things, mutual funds are available. Depending on your risk appetite, you can choose in which fund, mutual fund you can invest. Next. Categorization of mutual fund schemes is again, these are again another classification. There will be equity fund schemes, there will be debt fund schemes, there will be hybrid fund schemes, and there will be solution-oriented schemes and other schemes. These are all the various categories based on the asset classes where they are investing. It will be classified. Next. So let us, these are 5 asset class, equity mutual funds are classification was done. Let us let us go through. First, equity. Equity fund schemes generally next. Equity fund schemes, what happens? Equity fund schemes will be, they basically, majority of the funds collected will be invested in equity funds, because in a mutual fund, when a mutual fund is floating a scheme, they will tell you upfront which areas they are going to invest the funds collected under that particular scheme. 70% equity, 30%, 20% in debt funds, and 10% in something like that. They will tell you upfront where they are going to invest. So, but equity funds mainly, they will focus on equities. 60%, 70% funds collected will be invested in equities only. Next, this will be suitable for high risk appetite investors. Next, equity fund categories: multi-cap, large cap, mid-cap. These are all various categories. Under equity fund. Under equity fund, multi-cap, 65% investment in equity and equity related instruments. Large cap means 80% investments in equity and equity related instruments in large cap companies. Similarly, this entire objective of that particular scheme is being given to you under this mid cap, small cap. How much percentage of your investment in mutual fund will go into various categories? If you opt for a multi-cap fund, 65% will go to equity and equity related instruments. Here, small cap, 65%, only in small companies, upcoming companies. Similarly, it will be like this, equity fund categories. Next. Yeah, here also again, a dividend yield fund, value fund, contra fund. Again, subcategorization in equity funds. Dividend yield, where you will get dividends, predominantly invest in dividend yielding companies. And value fund means if their growth is there, they will invest in that. Contra fund is the mix of both. And focused fund, 60% in equity and equity related instruments, focus on particular sector, particular industry, pharma industry. So if the fund is talking about only pharma related, they will only invest in pharma industry up to 65%. Then sectoral thematic funds and equity linked savings schemes. Equity linked savings schemes will be a tax benefit, also will carry some tax benefits, and also there will be a lock-in period also in the under this particular mutual fund. Next. ELSS, again, they have given a bifurcation, explained in a much better way. Up to 1,50,000 under Section 80C. Investments under this, will be directed, qualify for a direction into that. Investments predominantly in equity and helps generate market-related linked returns. Short lock-in period is also there. Maybe 2 years or 3 years, lock-in period also will be there particularly in ELSS. Other sectors, other categories, you don't find this. Next. Debt schemes, we have covered equity, then comes debt schemes. Debt schemes, what are the debt schemes? This fund generally invests in debt instruments. What type of fixed income securities? There will be fixed income securities, government securities, where the capital appreciation will be there and returns will be slightly lesser than what the equity fund is going to give you. This is why debt funds are more, where the risk appetite is moderate and low, you can opt for this type of funds. Next. Similarly, the same whatever we have discussed in debt funds, risk and what you call risk and yield is depicted in in a matrix. On x-axis, duration, maturity period is given, and y-axis risk is given. Low to high duration. So this is how you will get to know in which, when you are investing in a mutual fund scheme in debt fund, you will try to know about the risk which is involved in that particular scheme. Next, we say is the duration. Next, debt fund categories are, these are the debt fund categories, like equity fund we have seen. Similarly, debt fund also various categories are there: overnight fund, liquid fund, ultra short duration fund. There are various categories where liquid fund, even within 91 days you can take it back, but you'll get substantially much better return than savings bank deposit. Overnight fund, you can keep your unused funds overnight in a mutual fund scheme, overnight fund scheme, where you will get return immediately, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, whatever it is. Ultra short duration, 3 months to 6 months. Similarly, various duration period also is there in debt fund schemes. Next. These are all again different classes in the debt fund category: the long duration, dynamic fund, corporate bond fund. There are various gilt fund also. Gilt fund means gilt agent securities, means government securities. You will get minimum 80% in G6, such that the calculation of portfolio is equal to 10 years. Generally, government securities are generally issued for 10 years. So this maturity period is also given as 10 years, so that it will the investment is linked to the G-Sec maturity period. The floater scheme is also there. These are the various debt fund categories, depending on your risk appetite, because the debt fund itself is a moderately risk appetite person we offer. Similarly, again, under that, in fund category also, you can go for the fund which is suitable for your risk appetite. Next. There are, we have discussed equity and we have discussed debt. There are some schemes which have both the characteristics, like equity and debt. They are called hybrid funds. What are those hybrid funds? Let us see. Next. Hybrid funds are investment in a mix of equities and debt, aim to generate wealth from equity exposure, while as a debt portfolio will give you a stable return, suitable for investors looking for a mix of safety as well as income. This is what the most important thing: hybrid funds, which will give you this type of comfort. Next. Hybrid funds, various categories are also there in this: conservative hybrid fund, multi-asset classification fund, balanced hybrid fund. These are various schemes that are available for you. Depending on your risk appetite, you can invest in such schemes. Next. Then solution-oriented and other schemes. There is equity, debt, hybrid. 3 categories we have covered. And now solution-oriented, like retirement benefits, educational related schemes and other schemes. Let's look at it. These are the retirement funds, children educational fund, index funds, and fund of funds. Other things are all almost you can come to know of it based on their names. But what is fund of funds? In this, they will invest in other funds, fund schemes, other mutual fund schemes, which will be given to you well in advance as the name of investment itself. So this is fund of funds is also another scheme. Next. Index funds. What are the index funds? Index fund generally replicates the Sensex index, aims to provide returns as per the index, suitable for investors seeking returns similar to stock exchange returns. That is called index funds. Next. Index funds are What are the characteristics of an index fund? Mirrors a market index, includes securities as per index. So there is a basket of index fund means in every BSE Sensex when the market volatility is being shown. And BSE is 60,000 mark crossed, Sensex 12,000 mark crossed. All these things, how they will get that numbers. That they will be having a basket of shares where the A class shares, the movement of which will determine the and the demand and risk, depending on they will give weightages for these classes, A class shares and medium and small scale industries and upcoming and others. Accordingly, these index funds will give you returns similar to index BSE or JNSE. Next. Exchange traded fund means exchange traded. It will be listed. These will be a commodity or a bond or basket of funds, like a common stock on the stock exchange, passive fund management, low cost and fund management. Because it's, the value of it is being decided by the market on a day-to-day basis because it is listed like a share. So exchange traded funds. Yeah, this is one class of asset mutual fund. It is available for you. Next. Gold exchange traded funds, again another category, because these funds collected will be invested in gold and gold related bonds and other things. So this is called gold exchange traded funds. Again, these will be traded on stock exchange like a shares and bonds. Next. International funds. International funds means what? International funds where the funds collected in India from the investors or savers, and these funds will be invested in ADRs and GDRs. ADR means American Depository Receipts. GDR means Global Depository Receipts, generally issued by Indian companies which are being traded in New York Stock Exchange, Japanese market, and all these international markets. So where the ADRs and GDRs are issued by these companies which are being traded, because our shares cannot be traded directly in those exchanges, international exchanges, they will be traded by way of a GDR or a ADR. So when the ADRs and GDRs investments are taking place by these mutual funds, this is called international funds. Next. Fund of funds, again, same. Fund of funds will diversify the portfolio diversification. You will get it's like a passive investment only, mostly multi-manager funds. Multi-manager funds, because this fund will be investing in another fund manager. So this thing, you have a fund manager who is having skill sets, and because this fellow is investing in other funds, mutual fund schemes, which are giving good returns in various mutual fund schemes. Each scheme has its own fund manager. So you will get multi-skill set advantage in this type of funds. Next. Arbitrage funds, again. Arbitrage means, you must have heard about arbitrage. Arbitrage means raising resources in one market and investing in another market, where the cheap resources are available, like international markets. So when I was working in Doha, the rate of loans, personal loans and other things, they used to charge only 2%, 3% interest rate. They used to raise huge, people who are well settled there, earning good money and occupations there. They take, they will get personal loans very easily at 2% or 3%, depending on the maximum 3%. And this 3%, they raise loans there and invest in, because they are NRIs, they can invest in Indian markets. Indian markets, they will get, at least you will get 10% return. 8 to 10%. Even fixed deposit, for example, take a fixed deposit of a bank, 6 to 7% return you will get. Whereas what is the loan you are paying interest rate on loan in a foreign country? 3% or maximum 3%, 2 to 3%. So the arbitrage means the difference between what you are on the loan, what you are paying, and on the investment, what you are getting. That is, investment may be getting at 7% return, or even a bank fixed deposit, whereas here you are paying loan, interest on loan is 2%. The difference is 5%. This is called arbitrage. What you call buy low and sell high. It's the motto is like that. So what happens when that arbitrage, the 5% arbitrage is there, even there is taken 2% for exchange related fluctuations, even the 2% on loan and 2% on exchange fluctuation, 4%, but you will get a clean return of 3%, even 7% fixed deposit return if you take it. This is called arbitrage. There are funds, buy mutual funds, schemes are there, arbitrage fund schemes, which will give you, take advantage of this arbitrage. You can also choose those funds. Next. Yeah, mutual fund scheme, whenever a mutual fund scheme is, equity, hybrid or debt scheme is floated, they will give a risk-o-meter. This is called a risk-o-meter. This what is called a risk-return trade-off. What is the risk you are undertaking? If you are investing in equity funds, higher risk and higher returns. Whereas in debt schemes, low to moderate returns and low to moderate risk. So this is how this trade-off is being. Depending on your risk appetite, you can take a call on that, where to invest. Next. Yeah, having gone through the various schemes that are available to you. So before investing in those schemes, what are the documents that you have to look into, and what are the documents that are being given to you by the mutual fund companies, so that you will get to know what exactly you are entering into. What are the related documents? SID, scheme information document. It's an elaborate document. The scheme and its characteristics and where they're going to invest and how much risk you are going to carry, all these things. Will be given in this scheme information document. Statement of additional information is the legal and tax implications of that particular scheme is also given as additional document. And key information memorandum will tell you about the details of the investor must understand before investing. Who are the fund managers? Who is doing your investments on your behalf? All these things are given in this KIM, key information management system. So these are the various documents you have to look into. Next. Fact sheet every month, each and every, whoever is doing mutual fund business, the asset management companies have to issue a fact sheet every month. How your fund is performing, how your scheme is performing, and whether it is meeting your objects or not. All these things are being given in this fact sheet. You have to analyze your, investment, what you have made, how whether it is meeting your desired financial goals or not. Then accordingly, you can take a call in case if it is not meeting your, and if it is meeting, that's okay, fine. You can go ahead with it. You can keep on investing in that particular schemes. Next. What are the plans and options? Yeah, next. So here, what type of plans you are, how to invest in mutual funds. This is direct plans and regular plans. This is what, a regular plan means what? A regular plan which will be issued to you, you will get to know in the documents and other things, but you will invest through a distributor, through an agent. Generally, these regular plans are having slightly lesser NAV, lower NAV, because the mutual fund has to pay some commission to the distributors and agents who are collecting the money from the scattered investors. So, because the agency involved, commission is involved in this, here in this regular plan, you will get lower NAV. The expense ratio is also slightly higher than compared with the direct plan. Direct plan means what? Internet banking. You know internet banking. You can directly operate on the site of the bank. Like the mutual fund, you go to the mutual fund site and ask for, okay, I want to invest in this scheme. You invest through internet, and then it's a direct plan. Here, there is no cost involved. There is no distributor involved. You are directly involved. And the mutual fund company is saving the commission that is being paid to the distributor. So here the NAV, net asset value, will be slightly higher and expenses ratio is also slightly lower. So you have to choose how to invest, with a regular plan or a direct plan. Next. Growth option and IT. Here, when you are investing, you will be given two choices. Growth option means you keep on investing in that only. They will not pay you anything regularly as a dividend or this thing. Your returns will be reinvested in the same scheme or the schemes which you are going to opt for. That is called growth option. Whereas IDCW means what? Income distribution and dividend option, capital withdrawal option. Here, you can also choose to quarterly returns, whatever that is being generated, or monthly, half-yearly returns. You can ask the company, keeping the principal intact. You can also ask the company to give back the returns that are being generated. But here also you will get better NAV, net asset value, so that your investment of 10,000 today, even if you are taking your interest or the returns back, but growth in value will be there, and you will get the benefit of growth in value of your investment also. You will get much higher than what you have invested. Maybe if you are, for example, if you invested 10,000 rupees, your principal 10,000, you may get, if you at the end of the scheme, you may get 12,000, 13,000 rupees. Even if you are withdrawing on a quarterly basis, whatever returns that are being generated by this 10,000 rupees, what you have invested, you will get quarterly returns as well as growth in the value of the principal. Yeah, these are the two schemes available to you. Next. Modes of investment. Here there are several schemes, and in one go you can invest a lakh of rupees or something like that. Then there is a systematic investment plan. You must have heard about recurring deposit of the bank. Recurring deposit, every month you will save something, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees, whatever you agreed for. SIP also similarly like that. You have to keep on investing on a monthly basis and a regularly basis in the systematic investment plan. STP, systematic transfer plan. This is transferring certain amounts from this scheme to some other scheme. That facility is also available. Inter-scheme switches. This is inter-scheme means, you have invested in one fund. You don't want to, equity fund. You want to switch to debt fund. You can ask the fund, you please shift my investment in whatever I invested in equity, you to debt fund, because I don't want to take the risk in equity. So, but this has to be with the same company. If you are investing in HDFC or a State Bank mutual fund, you can switch in the schemes within the same SBI or HDFC or whatever it is. Next. SIP. This is what SIP is. We have already discussed every monthly investments and then a regular basis. This is called SIP. Next. SIP is, in a SIP, you will get a power of compounding. The advantages of SIP is you will get power of compounding. If you keep on investing on a regular basis, say a certain amount, 1,000 rupees at 8% till the age of 60, you are 25 years now, you will get you invested 4,20,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees. That means what? 12,000 rupees per month. So 45 years. 60 years means 35 years. 35 years, how much it will become? 4,20,000. But what will be the compounding effect of that? 23 lakhs you will get. Your 4 lakhs, whatever investment that is there, it would have been, substantially grown into 23 lakhs. This is how the compounding impact is there. Similarly, at various ages, if you are starting investment in 1,000, given an example, is how much you are going to get out of it. That is the power of compounding you will get in SIP. Next. SIP, how rupee cost averaging. SIP, another advantage of SIP is you will get averaging of, because you are continuously investing on a monthly basis or a regular basis, what happens? The cost factor will get averaged out. So if you are investing in 1 month 10,000 rupees, and NAV initially it is 10 rupees value, 10,000, 1,000 units you got. Now second month the value of that fund, what you have invested has gone up to 10.5. So you will get 952. And in the third month, the value of that has gone up to 12 rupees, because you are investing this same 10,000 rupees at 12 rupees. You will get this many. So what is the NAV you are getting? Average purchase price 13.58, not 10 rupees. The average cost per unit will be 12.92. This is how you are going to, your cost will be 12.92, whereas the average purchase of NAV, net asset value, is 13.58. This is how your SIP will give you benefit in rising market. So the table consists of falling markets and volatile market. In each of these market conditions, your SIP will give you advantage. That is what I want to highlight. Next. Systematic withdrawal plan also is there. Like systematic investment plan, there is a concept called systematic withdrawal plan. SWP allows investors to regularly withdraw a fixed amount from their mutual fund investment. Every month I want to withdraw, say 10,000 rupees from my investment. I have invested 1 lakh of rupees. I want to withdraw, say 10,000 rupees every month. So you opt for a systematic withdrawal plan. Without any hassles, it will be credited back to your account. Very easy, that is what. It will be easily, this will be advantageous. Systematic withdrawal plan will be beneficial and advantageous, and people who are retiring and who don't have a pension facility. This is how it will help you, the retiree people. Next. How to invest in mutual funds? Next. Yeah. These are the formalities you have to complete. Like, in any bank account, you have to complete KYC, PAN card, bank account number, all these things you have to give it to while investing. That is called investor ready. Then KYC formalities, Aadhaar card, address proof, all these things you have to provide. After completing KYC, you can open MF portfolio. This is a centralized portfolio, KYC. And with this centralized KYC, you can invest in any scheme. You need not complete the KYC formalities in each and every mutual fund. Once it is completed in a centralized database, you can invest in with that portfolio. You can invest in any portfolio. Next. KYC, of course, is an everybody is aware of it nowadays. So when you submitted all those documents, there will be a validation period for those documents, and once that is validated, and you will given a status as registered. And then there is another concept. In case if there is your documents are not properly submitted, or there is some confusion in the document, it will show you on hold or rejected. So you have to KYC. Ultimately, what we are trying to highlight is KYC has to be completed for entering into mutual fund industry. Like to open a bank account, you have to complete KYC. Similarly, mutual fund also. Next. Modes of investment: physical mode and an online mode. We already discussed regular plan and direct plan. Physical mode is through paper-based investment through agent or distributor. Online mode is just like internet banking operations. You can keep on investing in online mode. Next. And how to invest in mutual fund scheme is again same online and physical mode. This is what we have already explained to you. Physical mode is through agent and distributor, and online is on your own. Next. How to withdraw also, again, there will be two modes of withdrawals also. One is the redemption form. You can physically submit to your agent or the AMC office within 2-3 days. The NAV and the date they have received your physical form. The NAV of that closing date will be given to you, and it will be very easy. The amount will be credited to your bank account. Similarly, online mode, you can just log into online transaction page and select the scheme you want to get out of it. Then it will be credited to your bank account. Next. Performance evaluation principles are also there. Not only that, we are asking you to invest in other things. There will be various methods on how you can evaluate your how your investment is doing. Provides a relative return with respect to its benchmark. Mutual fund will provide you that. Returns of a fund should be measured over the recommended holding period. Just like that, tomorrow I invested today. Tomorrow you cannot, keep on, measuring your. It has to be over an evaluation period will be there. Maybe 1 year, 6 months, to 1 year or 3 years. Then you can, after 3 years, you just invest it and then keep on evaluating. Maybe after 6 months onwards, how the NAV is moving and other things, and that is how it is. Further, the risk fund is also undertakes the returns generated by taking this risk should be proportionate. Riskometer is there. You can track your how the fund is doing and how the fund manager is investing, whether the investment objectives that is being given to you in the document, the original document, is being observed or not. All these things you can verify at frequent intervals. Next. Stress testing is also there. This is another important technique. Stress testing is a computer simulated methodology to test how your investment portfolio is performing. This is very, very important for what you call an enlightened or well-aware investor. You can give you this type of stress testing also. Say volatility, even when the market is volatile, how in a downward trend, how it will perform. In a volatility market, how it will perform. In a rising market, how will it perform? This stress test will tell you, give you various scenarios. Thereby, you can take a call on investments. Next. NAV is a very important concept that is being given in mutual funds. What is NAV? Net asset value. To be the formula is, the NAV will be given to each and every mutual fund scheme. How it will be arrived? The number of assets and liabilities, whatever assets and assets minus liabilities, assets that are acquired, and the expenses that are being incurred, value will be divided by the number of outstanding shares. This is how the NAV will be arrived on a day-to-day basis, and on a daily basis, this NAV is published in AMFI's website for all the mutual funds, not only one scheme, for all the schemes and for all the mutual funds. Next. Riskometer again is, as I was. Yeah, riskometer is also will give you what is the risk that you are entering into, low risk or low to moderate, or moderate to high risk, very high risk. It will give, each scheme has to tell you how much is being risk is you are entering into. Next. Nomination facility is also available like any other bank deposits and other things. Everybody is aware of this nomination facility nowadays. For any financial product, this is a very important thing. In the unfortunate event, to whom it should be transmitted for nomination. Up to 2-3 people you can nominate nowadays, and this is a very good benefit for all the investors. Next. Why is nomination important? I need not elaborate on this. This is very, very important for all this. In case of unfortunate event, the legal heirs or the nominee people should not encounter problems in getting the shares and mutual fund schemes transmitted into their names. This is why it's very, very important. Next. There is, again, not only we are addressing, redressal, complaint redressal mechanism is also there. Each and every mutual funds, this fund is there. You can give you complaint also. If you have a complaint, you can lodge at this. Next. SEBI complaint redressal mechanism is also there. Not only each mutual fund has its own complaint redressal, SEBI is also there. Scores SEBI complaint redressal system. If your complaint is not redressable here, you can also go into SEBI's complaint redressal system and then can lodge there. Yes. Next. SEBI has an Sarathy app, and which will give you wealth of knowledge and financial literacy and financial awareness, investor awareness programs, investor education. Everything is there. You can go into this app and then can know many more things which are beneficial for you. With this, we start next. It's only thank you. Thank you for your patient listening. I stop. In case if you have any questions, I can try to address them.
Thank you, sir, for wonderful,
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra. It's my pleasure to be with all of you through this webinar. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
I think, it was too much for us. So many concepts are covered in a very short time.
Our coordinator, if you ask, you can share PPT also, in case if you require that.
Yeah, sure. That will be very useful for us. Especially, I am from commerce background, so for me it's okay. But for arts and social sciences, it will be very difficult. Or other foreign languages, or it will be a little bit difficult for them to grasp so many concepts in a very short time.
Yeah.
So, but the session went very well. A lot of concepts were introduced, basically, I think we can have a few more sessions in detail so that, we can have some hands-on or at least offline sessions where we can spend more sessions in detail. But overall, it was a very insightful session, which gave holistic understanding of basically what is finance and what are portfolios and asset management and so on. So participants, if you have any suggestions, queries or observations, feel free to share in chat box, or there's a lot of appreciation in the chat box, but I don't see any queries. So, okay, I think, as my colleagues were also sharing, was requesting, to sir to come offline or, have a half day workshop because too many concepts are there. So I think even other participants are also feeling so. Maybe that's the reason there are no queries as such.
Non-banking student, non-commerce students, slightly heavy. I understand that.
So thank you, sir, once again on this, wonderful occasion. I think we don't have any queries as such.
Thank you, sir.
But it really went very well. I too enjoyed introducing different concepts. I think we can have one more session in coming days.
Sure.
And we will get into much more detail.
Yeah.
So I thank on behalf of Sri Research Institute and Center for Art Sciences, and on behalf of all the participants in the webinar for giving us this wonderful session on this occasion of World Teachers' Day, and also enlightening us because it's a greater role that stakeholders have to play, especially in higher educational institutions, and it was very good session for all of us. So once again, on behalf of Sri Research Institute and Center for Art Sciences and Well-being, and we express our heartfelt gratitude to Sri Veera Brahma Garu and also to Association of Mutual Funds in India for actively being part, collaborating with us, and giving us an opportunity to disseminate knowledge on this wonderful occasion. So we thank each and everyone for being part of this webinar, and we wish you all a happy Teachers' Day once again. The feedback form will be shared in the chat box. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. If anyone would like to share oral feedback, are welcome. The feedback form link has been shared in the chat box. And PPT, yes, as Sir mentioned, once we receive, we'll be sharing it across. Or any such material, if there is any, we will share it across. Or can you suggest some websites or where, basic financial literacy or some links, sources that participants can go and do further?
Financial literacy, you will have a very good Sarthi app, sir.
Okay.
That I have already mentioned in my PPT. Sarthi app of SEBI. You will get financial literacy and education part of it is you will get very good concepts there. As regards to the schemes part of it, AMFI will give you, AMFI's website also will give you a lot of information, sir, for making investments in mutual funds. Because everything is being, in their website, all the schemes, their net asset values, on a day-to-day basis, the information is being updated. So that will give you a lot of inputs for investors. For financial education, Sarthi. Even for that matter, RBI website also you will get some financial literacy related subjects in RBI website also. These are the two most important regulators who are undertaking this kind of education, financial education.
It's nice. So kindly make note of both the app as well as, on website also, AMFI website, as well as this app, which provides financial literacy and further information. At any other point also, if you need any information, we can get back to them and provide information. And as requested, we'll see if one more session can be possible in coming days.
Yeah.
Also.
You're most welcome, sir, anytime. You can need my services. I will, with my financial background as well as with AMFI's consultancy role, definitely we can throw some more light. As far as my knowledge goes, I will definitely give, sir. Thank you very much.
I think it is.
Yeah. Right, sir. Shall I log out, sir, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Thank you once again for joining us. It
Thank
was
you.
a wonderful interaction with you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So, participants, we have shared the feedback link. It's open now. You can fill the feedback form. It was scheduled to open at 8, but now it's open. So you can start filling up. We request all the participants to fill the participant name as it is appearing, so that will help us to verify your attendance. And we'll be issuing certificates in a couple of days.